My name is Logan, and I will be presenting on the discussion thread called Instrument Approach. So, for the pre-scenario risk brief for the trip, I'm flying IFR from my training airport, which is KAKH to KCAE. I'm in marginal IMC conditions. There's low ceilings and some fog. The goal of this trip is to complete a safe approach without jeopardizing safety and going below my minimums. As a pilot, I don't have any illness. I'm on no medications. I do have check ride stress though. I'm well rested and nourished, and I'm facing heavy workload and fatigue during this stage of flight. The aircraft, I'm flying a Skyhawk C-172 that has a G1000 class cockpit, and it's equipped with a GPS that is WAAS enabled. The plane is also IFR equipped. The environment, I know that my destination has IMC conditions and there's potential for low visibility and a low ceiling. I've identified alternates that I could divert to. External pressures, I have the pressure of getting to where I need to be and complete the flight on time, and also fatigue that may alter my decision making and could potentially make me go below my minimums to try and find the runway. So DA and MDA, decision altitude, or DA, it's used for precision approaches. It's the altitude that the pilot will decide whether or not they will go missed at. To descend below DA, the aircraft must be in position to make a normal landing and the pilot has the required visual references in sight. Minimum descent altitude, or MDA, it's used for non-precision approaches. It's the lowest altitude that the pilot can descend to without visual reference. When reaching the MDA, the pilot must remain and level off at or above that altitude unless you have either acquired the visual reference to continue visually, or you reach the missed approach point, and in that case you have to execute a missed approach. So approaches that use DA are going to be the precision and as well as APV. So ILS, LPV, GLS, LNAV, VNAV, PAR. Approaches that use MDA, non-precision approaches like your localizer, VOR, NDB, LNAV, LDA, SDF, and LP. So there's some consequences of treating an MDA like a DA. If you descend below the MDA without having visual references, you can risk a couple things, and this could be like controlled flight into terrain, because the possibility of flying into terrain or obstacles while IMC is always a thing. Violating FAR 91-175, because descending below minimums is prohibited by the FAA once the aircraft is in position to land safely and the runway environment is visible. So there's also legal penalties. You could lose your certificate because violating minimum descent altitude is not allowed. It's prohibited. There's some safety hazards as well, because even if you dip below the MDA just a little, you can put your life at risk. And I mean, especially when you're flying in like mountainous terrains and areas where there's a lot of obstacles. So why does an MDA approach require leveling off? So there's no vertical guidance because it's a non-precision approach which uses MDA. The MDA that is given provides obstacle separation and terrain clearance until the missed approach point is reached. When reaching the MDA, pilots must level off while looking for those visual cues that will help them get down to the runway. The difference is that precision approaches use DA, which have glide path guidance that allows for a continuous descent to DA. So terrain clearance is already built into the procedure, and descent rates are stabilized, so there's really no need to level off at a DA. The Bible integration, Proverbs 4:26, give careful thoughts to the paths for your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. So this relates to the discipline and vigilance that pilots must have during instrument approaches. Scripture says that believers must walk deliberately and carefully, just as pilots must respect the minimums published by controlling themselves and having self-control by not crossing under those minimums. It's a pilot's responsibility to steward over lives that are in their aircraft, which means trusting the procedures and that they are safe. And here's my references. Thank you.